Hello, Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Welcome to another exciting meeting of Singapore International Dynamic Speakers. Since we are on Zoom, please you keep your microphone muted if you're not speaking. Keep your camera on as much as possible and enjoy the meeting. And now, please let us all welcome the President of Singapore International Dynamic Speakers, Edward. I don't know your last name, Mr. President. Edward, please, welcome, Edward.
Thank you, Khalid. Toastmasters, guests, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another session of Singapore Dynamic Speakers Toastmasters Club. Today is the start of a brand new day, a brand new beginning for dynamic speakers. Recently, we had an election and a new executive has been elected, chaired by yours truly. The ambition for the club is to build on what has been accomplished by the previous executives and to move forward in a dynamic manner as per our name. We promise to give you all more opportunities for growth and to practice your leadership abilities, whether it be in speaking roles here at the meeting or taking up posts in the executive. We will help you grow in your public speaking and leadership aspirations. That is the priority one of this club, for us all to grow together in harmony. With that said, I would like to introduce you all to the theme of today's meeting, which is new beginning. Every day, we get to write a new chapter in our life. Every day is a blank slate. We get to decide what we will be, what we will become, what we will do. And that applies to every aspect of our life. There is always a chance to turn over a new leaf, to make a new start. And today for Singapore International Dynamic Speakers is a new start. We will grow forth and be the beacon of excellence in the Toastmasters world. So Toastmasters and guests, welcome. Today, we have a most exciting program for you. But before we get to that, let's meet our guests. SWATI, are you there? Can you introduce yourself and tell us how you came to be with us today?
Yes, thank you, CP Edward. So my name is SWATI SAMANTARAY and I'm from India. And this is my first meeting. I'm kind of very excited. I've just finished my graduation and I've applied for a post-graduation. So hope for the best.
Congratulations on your graduation and welcome.
Thank you.
Franica?
Yes, hello everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, according to everyone's places. So even I'm from India and I'm a Toastmasters in a different club that is in Pune, Maharashtra. And I'm looking forward for this meeting. Thank you.
We are happy to have you. With the introductions made, let's move swiftly into our table topic session. Today, that will be chaired by yours truly. Do we have a volunteer for the first question?
I volunteer Angela. He's already asking anyway.
Awesome. No matter how hard the past is, you can always begin anew. Buddha. No matter how hard the past is, you can always begin anew. Angela, do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I agree entirely. The path goes back to the past and forward to the future, and you're always walking along a path in life through the years and along a path, usually along a place, and you go forward because you have an idea of a destination and you move forward. Now, you can sometimes go off not knowing where you're going and just enjoy seeing where the path leads. But after you've done that a bit as a child, you generally have an idea of the places you haven't yet been to and would like to go to, or the places you'd like to revisit. Now that applies whether you're walking through a shopping center or progressing through life or at a Toastmasters club. And it really helps if you know what you want, because you know when you walk into a shop and the shop assistant comes up to you and says, good afternoon, madam or sir, may I help you? Is there something you're looking for? If you don't really know, you could say, I'm just looking. But even if you're not, even if you're only browsing, it's quite handy to say, I'm quite interested in such and such a thing. And then the shop assistant will help you. Well, that's just like life. As you go along, if you look around and see what the possibilities are and think, that looks interesting. And then maybe an assistant, could be the VPM membership secretary of a club, will come and tell you how to join, or will tell you about another meeting, or a shop assistant will show you the latest gadget. And if you can't afford it, then say, do you have anything on sale at the moment? And sometimes they'll say, yes, we've got a bargain section over here. And you can go and buy a bargain that's within your grasp, within your means. And then you're pleased and the assistant is pleased. So there you are, you have it. Back to you for that. Thank you for that lovely question.
Thank you, Angela. Our next volunteer, Khalid.
Yeah, may I just suggest that you introduce the role players before we go into any official segment? Because
Sure.
I've just almost forgot to time Angela. Fortunately, I hope I was fair to her, but I had to estimate the first minute of her talk. So anyway, just back to you, Mr. President, or Mr.
Sure.
Toastmaster for now. So
Our timer for this evening, Khalid, can you explain your role as timer?
okay, as timer, I will help each speaker keep track of time so they stay within the time allowed for them to speak. As you just witnessed, table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, after 1 minute, from the moment you start, I will show the green. A minute and a half, I'll show yellow. At 2 minutes, I will show the red. And then you have 30-second grace period. I don't know if we have any speaker today.
We have one speaker, Angela.
How long is your speech, Angela?
It's 4 to 6 minutes. It's the icebreaker from the leadership development path.
You're gonna break some ice today. Okay, for the icebreaker is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4, I will show the green. At 5, I'll show the yellow. At 6, I will show red. Again, the speaker will have 30-second grace period.
Yes, do I have an evaluator?
Okay, who is
I
the
will be
evaluator?
evaluating you, Angela.
Yes, do you have the form or can you use a generic form?
I have the form and a generic form. Which would you prefer?
I think if you've got the icebreaker form, use that one.
Yes, I have the icebreaker form.
Okay, wonderful. If I may jump in, then I will also remind the evaluator, 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show the green. At 2.5, I will show yellow. At 3 minutes, red. Again, there is a 30-second grace period. That will be my role, and I will give my report when asked so by whoever is the general evaluator this meeting. Back to you, Mr. President or Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Khalid. And now our counter this evening, Swati.
Sir, I am not the R counter today.
Sorry,
It's my first session. I actually
Anya.
don't know.
It's Anya Roy. I apologize. Anya, are you there? She may have stepped away, but as our R counter, she will be keeping track of our R's, pauses without cause, and other space fillers in our presentation. And in the evaluation session, she will give us a report. Those are the facilitators we have for this meeting this evening. With that, let's resume the table topic session. I believe, Khalid, you had volunteered.
Volunteer anytime, no problem.
Nothing in the universe can stop you from letting go and starting over. Nothing in the universe can stop you from letting go and starting over. Do you agree or disagree, Khalid?
Mr. Toastmaster, table topics master, fellow Toastmasters, how true. This is the story of my life. So many times in my life, I had faced stumbling blocks where I could not move forward and I was stopped. The best example I can give you is when I was doing my PhD in mathematics. I failed the first time when I took the qualifying exam, but nothing stopped me. I tried again. I stopped for a while, but then I thought, and I remembered that nothing can stop me except myself. I started all over, took the exam again and made it. And 4 years down the road, I achieved my dream. So the same thing applies to each one of you. Nothing can stop you. You can always start over. That is the true meaning of life. If you're facing any difficulty today, you think you have stopped, please rethink again and start over. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Khalid. Excellent presentation. Swati, would you like to try?
Sure, sir. Since it's my first meeting today, I'll try my best.
Of course, that's great. Sometimes you just know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginning. Sometimes you just know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginning. Do you agree or disagree?
Thank you, CP Edward, sir, to give me this wonderful topic. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is to everyone present here. So what I believe that yes, sometimes we should trust the process of ending one thing that we were involved in and starting a new thing, which can turn out to be miraculous. So I would like to present this topic with one of my own example. It's just recently that I've completed my graduation, and getting into the Indian Defense Forces was my childhood dream since my dad belonged there. And even though I passed the interview to become an officer in Indian Defense Forces, I was eliminated in the medical round. It broke me internally, and I just had no words for it because it was my childhood dream and I was completely clueless on what to do ahead. I never thought of post-graduation, but after speaking to my parents, I applied for a post-graduation degree and made it by securing an All India rank for a central university here in India. So that's how I secured a post-graduation seat. I might not have fulfilled the childhood dream that I dreamt of since childhood, but I am sure that I will trust the process, what God has prepared for me, so that I can create wonders in the process that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. Excellent job. Gary, are you there? Would you like to give it a shot?
I am there, and I would like to give it a shot.
Awesome. The beginning is the most important part of the work. The beginning is the most important part of the work. That's by Plato. Do you agree or disagree?
I both agree and disagree, and I'll explain why. Because it depends on the nature of the work that you're going to undertake. I work as a software engineer. I am from the Silicon Valley area of California, near San Jose, San Francisco Bay Area. And this is one of the things that you learn as a software engineer as you get older, that you need to take your time at the beginning. This is the part where I agree, to actually come up with a good solution. Often when you are a younger person, just starting out as an engineer, you feel like you need to just start coding right away. You got to start putting stuff out, and you don't spend the time that you need to spend actually thinking of a good solution. So that is something that I have learned from other senior people and mentors in my career, is taking that time to think about what is a really good solution? What are the ramifications of picking one path versus another, and choosing a good start to be able to have a good finish. And that's really the essence, I think, of what Plato was talking about, why the beginning is so important, because what follows the beginning is dependent upon the beginning. So what you choose at the start determines how you're going to finish at the end. And oftentimes, especially in a profession like software engineering, where there's a very rapid pace of development and there's a feeling that you've got to go faster and faster to produce more stuff, over time you can end up producing a lot of really bad stuff that you then have to maintain, which only slows you down further on coming up with new products. So that idea of having a good start and taking your time to do it is something that I look for in a more senior engineer, and as a counselor or a mentor for younger engineers, I try to encourage them to understand that importance. So relative to software engineering, I agree with Plato. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Anya, are you there? The beauty about being few in numbers is that we get multiple speaking opportunities. So let's do another round. Every moment is a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning. Angela, do you agree or disagree?
I agree, because I agree with everything. I'm an agreeable person. I have been told that if you enter a contest, you shouldn't agree. You should make yourself different and disagree. But I find it very difficult to disagree, because I spend my whole day trying to train myself to agree with everything to make other people happy, because ultimately that's going to make them want to agree with you. And that makes me happy. I've now almost forgotten what the question is. Could you just remind me once more, because I don't see it on the screen?
Every moment is a new beginning.
Yes.
Every moment is a new beginning.
Every moment. The clock ticks along, whether you're doing a table topic like this, which is 2 minutes, or doing a speech, which is usually 5 minutes, or running a meeting, which is usually roughly 2 hours, or a lunchtime meeting, which is often 1 hour, or even a whole day event where there are so many things going on that you're not going to end on time if you've got 10 people and everyone goes 5 minutes over. So every moment is a new beginning, but you've always got to be thinking of the end. And every moment you're moving towards the end, whether it's the end of the day and going to bed at midnight or leaving the ball like Cinderella at midnight, you've got to be thinking where you are in the time. And it's a new thing to do because you get distracted like I am now by your thoughts, but you've got to also keep thinking, what am I doing next? When do I have to end this task? And what's really good about school, I always think back to my school days when after an hour you stop one lesson, however great and important it was, and you go on to a new beginning and the next lesson. And that's how you get through your whole year and achieve your exam results at the end. Now a new beginning with somebody else. Back to you, Table Topics Master Edward.
Thank you, Angela. You are never too old to start over. You are never too old to start over. That's by C.C. Lewis. Khalid, do you agree or disagree?
Mr. Table Topics Master, I don't know where you get all these kind of questions, but definitely I agree with it. Again, it seems that Angela and I have a lot of things in common. We agree with anything positive that you say or anyone says. As I said, I have PhD in mathematics and I just recently retired. There was a long dream that I had long time ago to own a flower shop. I retired and I started, after all these years, I have a flower shop. The pandemic, unfortunately, has been not very helpful or friendly to us, but I did start my project and hopefully it will pick up after all this turmoil is over. So if you have a dream, don't think that it's ever too late to start again. Think of the possibilities. The only way that you cannot achieve your dream is if you never start. So I'm sure you probably have dreamt of so many things possible. So today I'm here to remind you the time to restart or start again is today, because it's never too late, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Khalid. Excellent. Every end is a new beginning. Every end is a new beginning. Do you agree or disagree, Swati?
Yes, Table Topic Master, I completely agree with the question that you have asked. Every end is a new beginning. There are so many different types of experiences and individual experiences in his or her whole lifetime. So some experiences are good, some experiences are bad, and some experiences are such that they force you or push you to move into a different type of lifestyle, a different type of experience that you've never had before. So with the end of one type of experience starts a new one. And it is very important to embrace whatever comes in the path. If there is an end to a particular type of joy or a particular type of sorrow that you have experienced before, there is also a type of joy or sorrow what comes next with what is coming next. So it becomes important for a person to embrace the journey, to learn out of the type of experience that he or she are going to have. With that, I end. Thank you. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, Swati. Anya, you're with us. And suddenly, you know, one phase has ended and another phase has begun. You must go boldly into the future and release the past. And suddenly, you know, it's time to start something new and go boldly into the future. Is there ever a time you wish not to start something new? Is there ever a time you wish to hold on to the past? Again, is there ever a time you wish not to go boldly into the future? Is there ever a time you wish to hold on to the past? Yes, Gary.
Thank you for the question, Table Topics Master. I am very much a nostalgic person. And so in my life, I am often touched by things that don't change. And in a world where we are focused on technology, iPads, iPods, iPhones, kind of changing our lives, it's nice to find those things in life that don't change. And this is something that I have felt for a very long period of my life. I remember when I was 18 years old, high school senior, and for Christmas we had gone to Florida, and I was reading a poem, and I'm blanking on the name of the poet, but it was basically wish for the world that it will never change. And that kind of resonated with me, that idea that there are things that you can count on from one day to the next. You probably know the American actress, comedian Lucille Ball. Her show, her face, I believe, has been seen by more people on the planet than any other person. And she talked about her show, this was back in the 50s that her show was popular, so 70 years ago. And she said that there is so much change in the world today that our show gives people something that they feel they can count on, something that isn't changing. And I think that all of us kind of have that feeling of wanting some things not to change. So you can take on the future, you can boldly go into a new area. Make sure that you have a solid base, that you have those things that are familiar to you and that bring you joy and bring you warmth, that you can kind of reflect back on and you can return to on those days when you really do need something from the past to kind of sustain you on that journey of boldly going into the future. I'm not a big Star Trek fan, which is surprising for a software engineer, but I do try to go boldly in the future. I pick the right occasions, but I'm glad to have things from the past that I can count on. And thank you again. I'm back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thanks, Gary. The best time for a new beginning is now. The best time for a new beginning is now. Anya?
Okay, so that was a topic, is it? Okay. So I think this relates to the first topic that I heard, or rather the only topic that I heard, that it's never too late to make a new beginning. So this is just like a corollary of the same thing, that the best time to start anything new is now. So if you want to join the Toastmasters Club like I do, so the best time is now. If I want to stop having non-veg, which I actually don't, so again, the best time is now. So that's actually applicable to everything that you want to do in your life. So if you keep procrastinating and thinking this and this, will be checked. That's when I move to the next step. So what will happen is that a long time, so many years would have passed and you will be at step 0. So if you want to really do something and move towards your goal, the best time to start is now. So you may not have a fully baked cake, but you'll at least have the ingredients in place, and with time, with effort, and because you started now, you will eventually get to that fully baked cake. So to have that cake and eat it too, start is now. So back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Anya. And sadly, guys, we are at the end of the table topic session. Mr. Timer, can you provide us with your report?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster. Except with a little doubt, the first time I was timing Angela, the timing are accurate. So Angela, the first time spoke for 2 minutes, 20 seconds. The second time, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. That kind of confirms my feeling that I am right both times. I personally didn't time myself, so you can exclude me. I forgot, not intentionally.
I have
Yes.
you at 2 minutes and I have you at 1:54.
Okay, thank you. That's great to know someone is helping me. Thank you. SWATI took 1 minute, 29 seconds the first time, 1 minute, 10 seconds the second time. Gary, 2 minutes, 4 seconds the first time. The second time, I don't know how we did it, exactly 2 minutes. Anya spoke only once, 1 minute, 26 seconds. That is my timing report for all the table topics commentator, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Khalid. Excellent job. As we go on our first break for 10 minutes, you may vote on the best table topic speaker.